All right, so this topic right here is another my friendship with topic, and this time I am gonna be talking about, he's not really a popster, but he definitely recruited me, to becoming more of a Sarah and Kathryn fan. Now, I've never really been a Kathryn Bernardo fan as big as I am with her bestie Julia Montes, and and Erich and Sarah somewhat, right? So this dude recruited me to this one group called AshKath, and there was another name that I eventually found out in one of the the group chats back then for Sarah and Kathryn, and that was called Pop Cakes. It's just so funny how you can call that another name for for the Kathryn and Sarah tandem. You know what I'm saying? So for me, so this dude actually I'm going to talk about is Larry Estrada. I've known Larry since 2013. I've known him, for quite some time, man. Him and I, going all the way back, we were very close, right? He's a big fan of Kathryn, and he also likes Julia and Sarah, but Kathryn is just his biggest idol, and I've seen a lot of his Kathryn Bernardo pics, So for me, I mean, I like Kathryn, but I'm not really as huge of a fan as he is. So, Larry is the one that got me to becoming more of more so a fan of Sarah, and a little bit of Kathryn than before, when I used to be when I used to hang out in Pinoy Exchange. I remember way back then, Pinoy Exchange used to be my hangout spot, my main internet hangout spot, mainly for the Erich fans, the Erich fan base. There was two of them. We call them the Erichers, but during my time, when I was close with a lot of these Erich fans, they were the Erichholics, considered the Erichholics. What's like people like Joy, who I know, like, who also lives in California, but like up north. So Joy, Tam, who lives in New Jersey, Kay from the Philippines, and I saw a little bit of Aquamarine. I was lurking way back then before I even became officially a member, and one of the main people, or I know Kay was still a very active member then for the Erichholics, and what's her face, Aquamarine. I did not know her too well, and by the time I started becoming an active member, she was already fading out. And I remember these two dudes who have huge crushes on Erich, Edwin and Fred. Although Fred is just more of a diehard, and like myself, although I could argue once I came in, I have probably become the top diehard over him. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to this topic at hand. So Larry and I have been pretty close, and he's the one that recruited me to becoming I don't want to say recruited, man. I think he inspired me more to become a fan of Sarah and a little bit of Kathryn. But I've always loved Sarah like much more. You know what I'm saying? And she has more of her charisma. Not that Kathryn does not, but I just think Sarah has just more charisma than to me. She has just a lot more charisma, and especially because she's a singer, and she is a hell of a comedic actress. You know, she's great at what she does, and so is Kathryn. But I just think Sarah is just more appealing, and especially with her charisma as well. And so so Larry and I have developed this really close friendship, like going all the way back to 2013. He got me into the group, which I am still into this day, in Facebook. It's what was it? The Sarah Kathryn fans group. So I've been in that group for so long, and so it started to just like really enjoying my time. And mind you, that was my first year in this dump that I'm in. So I think I met Larry around, I'm trying to remember, is it like beginning? I think it was beginning of 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So up till now, it's year 2025. So I've known this dude now for 12 years. Ironically enough, the same number of years that I've been in this dump. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, him and I have for the most part had a smooth friendship, and I know in the later years, when Mari came into my life, and I know that Larry is also close with Mari. I mean, it's somewhat close, although I've known Mari since 2016, and I think that Larry and Mari did not meet until, what is it, 2020 or 2019? So they're kind of close as well. I don't know if he's also close with Ivanka, because I remembered Larry also got me into the group chat that has Ivanka in it. I'm talking about Francesca, another beautiful lady who is a pop star as well, who is a legit pop star. So I think it was in what was it? It's not the Pop Star Babies, because the Pop Star Babies is where Monica recruited me. So for Ivanka, I'm trying to remember, is it the Pop Cakes? Something else, man. But I think from there, like ever since Larry got me into being on these group chats for the fans of Sarah and Kathryn, and I think that really eventually started to get me, like in the long run. That's when Monica started to recruit me to the Pop Star Babies, and from there, that's when my whole world started to shift when it comes to being to being a part of this fandom of Sarah, Kathryn. You can argue Julia Montes as well. Not so much of Erich, but it was more for Sarah. Since a lot of the friends that I met are pop stars, like Sam and Monica, Glide, Mila, who else? Cyril. A lot of people. It's Crazy, Kriza, Christine. So as far as our friendship is concerned, me and Larry, I know that's like in the later years, the last few years, I know since the pandemic, I think Larry started clowning around with me, and I know that for sure he has seen my worst, but for the most part, he still remains a brother, right? And I know there's some things that I know he was just clowning, but it was just it was just a little annoying. But eventually I've adapted to it because you know he was always climbing around with me like that, and for the most part, this was like way back in 2020 during the time of the shutdown, and then like yeah, dude, it was just I think overall like he's just he's still a pretty close friend to this day, and I know he's not like, I mean, before I left social media, I think the last couple of years he was not too active as he was back then, but it's kind of like the rest of us, man. I think we're just all like, I don't know what it is, like if Facebook is just not that place anymore or what, but Larry and I just remained close friends to this day, even though like I have not been on social media for so long now, okay, and I do not have any plans to go back, but for the most part I'm just I'm just hanging around and just trying to focus on doing better of myself. And I know it's been a huge struggle after what happened last Friday, but yeah. But for the most part, Larry and I have been cool, and it's always fun to talk about our idols like Julia, Kathryn, and Erich for me, and Sarah. But he's a huge fanboy of Kathryn. So as much as I am a fanboy of Erich and Julia, so we had our good times here and there, enjoying our artworks here and there, right? So our friendship will never really depart like that, because if I go back to Facebook, and definitely we can he'll still send me around and all that, and right now I just don't have the time to really, I mean, I try, but it's just I'm not really too invested now in all this fandom stuff like I used to, as far as like making the artworks of Sarah and Julia, Erich, even Kathryn, and but they're still my idols to this day. Don't get me wrong. It's like myself, like I'm still a fan of Erich, Julia, Maha, Sarah, Empress, Kathryn, Micah Rivera. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, it's just like yeah, for the most part, I think Larry got me to really develop that inspiration, of being that fan of Sarah and my other idols. I'll say this about him though, as far as like when we first met, I think he really got me to strengthen my my love for all my idols, not just Sarah and Kathryn, even though I'm never really gonna be like a huge fan of Kathryn as much as Larry is, but I still find her very attractive. It's not like I can't, but I'm just more into like for me it's Erich, Julia, and Sarah, and to a certain extent like Micah. So yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta thank him for just inspiring me on that kind of level, and the fun times will never stop. Larry is part of. I mean, he knows some of the guys like I've met, like Monica and Ivanka, and eventually later on it was Mari, even though Mari is a Julie Angel. But yeah, man, I just hope we can continue this friendship, man. I'm pretty sure it will. I know that I'm not on social media. The only way we can really keep in touch is via social media, and I still see him sharing stuff about Kathryn, about Sarah, about yeah, just I know it's hard for me to really feel this fandom now. It's fading, but for the most part, like he's still my guy out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just thought I'd get this out there, and you know, there's not really much else to say. I know Larry will always clown around with what I do, and I know he clowns around about Mari, and kind of like how he treats Kathryn and some of his other idols and all that. But but at the end of the day, it's you know, we still cool, man. Just I'm letting him do what he does, and and we'll always keep in touch for damn sure. But I have to be in social media. But yeah, he's still around. All right, so I'll leave it at that, and y'all have a nice day.